Hello, my name is Sekit, and we are playing FTB One. And last time, we set up this big storage drawer system, which I've added to, and also hooked our Whirly Sprig and our Drigme up to now that we have storage drawers available. We also set up some basic auto crafting and auto processing with some machines from Thermal and Mekanism and refined storage, but most importantly, we were able to, we're getting spore blossoms, all kinds of things. These are all the same ender chest all around here. Most importantly, we figured out a way how to get the mechanism ingots, because the FTB ingots, for instance, lead, you can make it, like, where is it? Oh no, you can't even see it. That's right. So, if you smelt lead chunks, you do get this lead ingot, which isn't even present in JI or REI or whichever one this is, and it also has no use. So what we needed to do was find a way to make the mechanism lead ingots, or possibly the thermal ones, but thermal was closed off to us because we had the same issue with tin that we have with lead. So what we did was we set up a multi-step mechanism processing, just about as simple as it gets, ore doubling, where we pump the ore, in this case, it was zinc, now it's waiting to process silver, into an enrichment chamber to get the dust. And then the dust from just another ore processing compatibility attempt goes into the energized smelter from mechanism, and we get, in this case, occultism silver, which is fine, but we can also get the mechanism lead, which you can actually do stuff with. I also moved all the machines down by one. All the importers are underneath and running this way now. And that's because, it does look a little nicer, but we're also going to have a kind of a mirrored setup up here when we get to that point with how many machines we have. And we do need some machines. I'm not making the thermal stuff just for the point of the exercise. We can do some really cool stuff with thermal that we're going to want for the town that we're building, and we are going to go back to that. Let's jump into thermal. I'm looking for, what is it called? A sequential fabricator. That's it. So we're going to come over here. We're just going to teach it how to make it. And we'll also need to teach this thing a recipe for redstone flux coils and for crafting tables. Now, what the sequential fabricator can do that the system itself can't do is craft with liquids, and we're going to want that. Now the system can handle liquids, and we're going to make it so we can mess with that. We're going to need something called a fluid grid. So we programmed a recipe, and I thought we made a recipe for a grid. I guess we did not. We ought to teach this thing how to make grids, and then we're going to make a fluid grid. Now the fluid grid is not hard to make once you've got the grid. It's just an advanced processor and a bucket. This will allow us to see any fluids that are in the system. Now there aren't any. We can't even store any yet. We're going to need a fluid disk. So let's go, okay, 9 million fluid cells, all the mechanism tanks. Here we go. We're going to want fluid storage parts. Now a 64K will hold, I want to be in this GUI. 64K will hold 64 buckets, which is, a decent amount. We should also teach this thing how to make buckets. We're going to go ahead and start with the 256K disk. That will probably be all we really need, because we're mostly going to be using external storage like we have hooked up to our storage drawer system to access the fluids. We won't mostly be storing them in the system. So let's throw them in. Make sure we made everything here. We did not. Yes, we did. We did 256, not 64. Okay, we got everything. Here we go. Now we'll just throw this in here. This will somewhat obscure our... We'll have to keep an eye on the lights. When the lights on the discs here are yellow, it means that there's some stuff in here. When they're blue... Well, anyway, we can look in here. We should make another disk drive for fluids, but we'll do that one of these days. Another thing we're going to be using a lot from thermal are these aqueous accumulators. These are basically a really simple fluid pump, and they can give you, if you place them in an infinite water source, you can pump fluids out of them infinitely. So we're going to go ahead and make one. Shouldn't take long. And we're also going to teach this thing how to make ender tanks, because we're going to want to move fluids around. So here we are. We're going to put one... Where are we going to put our fluids? We could put it up above all this stuff, couldn't we? Yeah. We're going to put one right here. Well, you know what? We're going to dye them first. These have a little bit of lava in them for some reason. Do we have any blue dye handy? Plenty. We're going to dye these blue. All 3 stripes for water. Oh, you knew it was going to happen. Like, that's how you dye your refined storage machines. You right-click them with some glue in your hand. Now we're going to take our aqueous accumulator, and we're just going to pop it down in an infinite water source right outside. I don't think we need a fancy pumping station or anything like that. You can see it's already filled up with water. We're going to stick a pipe on it. We're going to stick the tank on the pipe. Set the pipe to extract. Now we're going to start filling up with water. And the ender tank with the same color stripes on the inside will also be filling up with water. Now we're going to want, the ender tanks don't actually hold very much, so we're going to want a buffer. We're going to teach the system how to make these basic fluid tanks from Mekanism, and also the advanced fluid tanks. It's just iron and the infused alloy that we made last time. Not that hard. We'll go over here and make one. Oh, we're going to need some infused alloy. Okie doke. Now, if we're going to have these set up like this, our infusers are only really going to be good for really one of these types of materials. So this one we're just going to have assigned to redstone. And then we can make a recipe in our pattern grid for these things. The processing recipe. You'll note it does not have redstone in it. It's going to need that present in the machine for it to work. There may be a better way to do this, but I've never found it. And now you can just do it. You got to keep an eye on your redstone level is all. Now up here somewhere, here we go. We're going to put an external storage. And we're going to flip it around to the proper orientation. And we're going to run cables right along to this cable so that it'll, connect to the system. Take this out. We will see if our tank is done. Very good. So we put this here and set the pipe to extract. This will start filling up with water. Now, we can't see it in the fluid grid right now because the external storage is not set to fluids. You gotta change it in the GUI here. You go from items to fluids, And here we go. It's not actually in the system. If you look at it, the fluid storage disk is empty. But now we can see it in the fluid grid, and we can send it to machines like the sequential fabricator. Is that what it was called? Yeah. Gear working die. When I made the tin ingot recipe, I left the gear working die recipe in there. You want to take that out. The gear working die is already present in the machine, just like the redstone, in theory, is already present in our metallurgic infuser. Let's try that again. There we go. So we're gonna just take this floor block out, connect this importer to the other ones, put the fabricator down, put the crafter down, get it flipped around to the correct orientation, and let's get the configs fixed. We want to set output and input to top and bottom. You see it's got a little tank here, right? Now, unfortunately, these things can only learn really one recipe at a time. So if we want a lot of things that we can craft with liquids to be automated, we're either going to want a lot of sequential fabricators, or we're going to want to change the recipe in here when we, based on whatever we're going to use. But let's say, and this really would have helped us out when we built the house, but let's say we wanted to make some concrete. Like, let's say we want this beautiful purple concrete. Oh, we could just do this in a fluid encapsulator. Wow. Alright, well, we'll figure out something to do with the sequential fabricator, but we're going to go ahead and make fluid encapsulators. No surprises in the recipe. All stuff we've seen before. You know, I know the fluid encapsulator used to be in thermal, but I feel like it hasn't been in recent versions. I wonder if we also have the magma crucible. Would you look at that? They're back. Wonderful. Oh, we're getting FTB Industrial Contraptions tin again. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's mechanism dust, but it's given us... Let's see. I swear we were getting the correct tin last time. We'll try it in the vanilla furnace. I don't think it's gonna... See, it's weird that we don't have the polymorph button here. We have it in our own inventory. Yeah, it's just gonna make FTB Industrial Contraptions tin. Well, we got a little bit of the mechanism. Yeah, they don't convert like that. I don't think they convert like that. No, they don't, because if they did, what we're getting in here would be going in here. So, another issue to solve. So I went ahead and made recipes for purple concrete powder here, so it'll do all of this. We've even got sand and gravel recipes for the pulverizer and the crusher, so we did that. Now we're going to want just regular purple concrete. Here it is. Now we can come over to our fluid encapsulator, and we'll see one bucket, one purple concrete powder will give us one purple concrete. I'm just going to jump over here. And we're going to come back and get it going. Here we are. Now I also started it going on some top tier integral components here. There we go. Because we're going to want this to be fast. But as we can see, the tank's got water in it. It's putting the purple concrete powder in. Now, if we put the resonant components in, all of a sudden it'll start holding a lot more water. start moving a lot faster. And, we got room for 8 more recipes up here. Now, the next thing we're going to want is to upgrade our thermal machines further. I programmed a recipe for a flux linkage amplifier that will... Here it is. It increases the process speed, but reduces the energy efficiency of our thermal machines. Now, if you didn't see the last episode, like this electrum bend... Okay, this seems to have a purpose again? That's interesting. It did not have one in the last episode. I'll just smelt it up. And now we're getting mechanism uranium. This is going to be really difficult if all of this is inconsistent. Is it just a lie? Okay, I don't see the recipe this time. Oh dear. Alright, well we're going to carve up a little more gold and silver for that. Now what, next thing I want to do, I want to make a tier installer from Mekanism. They're in here somewhere. Here we go. So our basic tier installer we can make pretty easily. We will need to teach this thing how to make the basic control circuits, which, since we already have a metallurgic confuser dedicated to redstone, we can just throw that in there and it'll be fine. And let's go ahead and craft it up. And these things are... You can do all sorts of things with these things. I think the one thing we can't do with them is upgrade our energy cubes, but we're going to try. So let's see, I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Yeah, there's no upgrade slots in this. But we can use it on all of the machines. I think we can also use it on the tanks. We happen to have a tank that could use it. Yep. Nope. Okay. So we use it on machines. That's fine. Let's take the crusher here. We shift right click, it becomes a basic crushing factory. You can see it has a higher energy buffer, but now it has 3 processing slots. And if you turn auto sort, I'm trying to say, it'll put items in each slot. If you have auto sort on, you can do 3 different things at once, like crush iron, gold, copper all at once. But we usually want to do things one at a time. Now with these 2 dusts in apparently most crafting GUIs, we'll get the thermal electrum blend, which is of no use to us. We want to try... Do we have a vanilla crafting table down here anywhere? I have one in my backpack. That's kind of embarrassing. Let's, do we have one in here, at least? No, I have no crafting table on me. Well, you make one. Now, in a vanilla crafting grid, we get the polymorph button. I don't know why it isn't showing up anywhere else, but it isn't. And perhaps comedically, the electrum grit that we need is the default. I don't know why it isn't the default on everything else. I did bring the fluid tank full of creosote oil back because we can upgrade these mechanism tanks manually. They don't lose their contents. Okay, we finally got these things. I think we can only... Oh, we can put in more than one now. Okay, okay. That's good to know. I don't think you used to be able to do that. We'll put one in here and one in here. That'll be nice and speedy. We want to make up for the energy loss with some of these flux efficiencies. It'll slightly reduce the process speed, but it will lower the process energy. So it'll be about even on energy, but it'll be about 90% as fast. Now this here is going to use what? It's going to use lumium plates. I think this thing already knows how to make lumium. And it's going to use, where did it go? Here it is. Oh, that's a creative flux efficiency. And it's going to need nickel gears. Hope we have that much nickel. Alright, we had enough nickel to make 4. So we'll just right-click him in. Into the gear one. That's fine. Now, prior to the 2.0 update of the pack, we'd been using the energetic angel ring because that was, we didn't have any of this other stuff. We didn't, we weren't able to make integral components, for instance. But all of this we can probably handle. We will need to make another diamond ring. We are in the wrong GUI. Oh, here we go. Now, we did raid a bunch of end cities, so we have a couple of Elytra lying around. From there, we can make the angel ring. We don't have nether stars. All right. So here's an issue. We don't have any of our wither skull fragments from productive bees because we don't have the bees anymore. We have no wither skulls. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to our old friend occultism. And the book is all different. Okay. Is there a search anymore? Yeah, here we go. Look, it's cool. Look, we don't want Aphrodite essence. We want the wild. We want wither skeleton skulls. This will tell us. So we need Asarian's Unbound Calling. And this is one I don't think we've made. Oh, we have some wither skulls in our backpack. Well, let's go ahead and do this anyway, because we need a consistent supply. Okay, I cleared us off a little area here. Oh, sage seeds. We'll have to take a look at hemp seeds. Wonderful. We're going to have to take a look at both of those mods. Let's get Osirans in front of us here. We're going to need, looks like a bunch of white chalk. All around like this. No candles. No soul gem crystal things. Just some chalk and some bowls and some skulls. There we go. Oh, you can just delete grass with this. That's cool. Alright. Did we miss one? Oh, we don't have the bowl in the middle. That's why. There we go. Now we can get ourselves some skulls. Very nice. We have wither skulls, but we're gonna need them eventually. All right. So what we want to do here, this one takes 7 really ingredients. We'll just put these down right here. I think we need a netherrack, block of copper, block of gold, block of silver. We got a diamond, and we needed a soul sand. Doing a wonderful job. And to finish it off, instead of this is more like the well, no, it's not, because we used a book for that too. We don't use a book for this. We just go ahead and put a skeleton skull right in the middle, and we got a name tag, and we got a mob capturing tool ready. Now this, like, we've got a skeleton in our Drigme setup already. That gives us a pretty steady supply of skulls. This is the same thing except a wither skeleton. And there's a bunch of them. Do we have thorns or anything? Like, no, it doesn't look like it. Looks fine. Oh, we're gonna... it needs a sacrifice. Okay. What kind of sacrifice do we need? We're gonna need a villager or a player? Ooh. Well... Okay. Now remember, nobody saw nothing. There's those purple particle effects. Should only take a second. I wonder if we'll get fancy boss fight music. We probably will not get fancy boss fight music. But we shall see. Oh! Not what I was expecting. Look at this crew. That's too many skeletons. They've all got names. We'll take a few of the stragglers out, I guess. Oh, we're out of arrows. Can I catch one of these guys? Oh, where'd he go? That's... Alright, let's see if we can catch one. That's the wrong guy. Come here. You. Okay, now we got him. And we'll just stand in here and tank these guys as best we can. I think we ought to heal ourselves. That's heal buddy. What happened to self-heal? Oh no. Okay. Oh, it's really always something in this pack right now. Self, heal, and amplify. That's just heal. We need self, heal, amplify, and we'll call it self heal. And we're gonna get it ready. Where is it? Oh, for crying out loud. We'll just face tank him. I'm sure it's fine. I thought it was gonna be like 4 or 5 wither skeletons, not like 50 dudes. Like... Okay. Ay. We did get some wither skulls. Now we have an open slot in our Drigme setup here that ought to work just fine. Oh, it is a little too low for him. Let's try that again. Yeah, he's fine like that. So we're gonna name him Smiling Jim. And I'm sure we have something we can put down here real quick, right? Alright, let's get a slab in there. Very good. Really? Oh, he's tall, huh? Alright. We'll do it up around like so. Ah, there he is, safe and sound. And now our Drigme will have a very good chance of giving us a wither skull every time he does his little thing. There he is. Now I went ahead and I made an energetic infuser. They're not hard to make. They're just, some electrum and some of these flux coils, lead. What I want to see is if we can use it to charge up our quantum chest plate. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't even go in there. So, we may have we would have to hook up FTB power to, let's see. Okay, it looks like we must have them all in here. I wonder, I don't know, I don't think we can use the pipes mod to fill up a battery box, and I don't think it'll do it. Yeah, no, doesn't do it. So I guess what we'll have to think about is whether we want an FTB Industrial Contraptions power set up just for to charge the quantum armor, or if we're gonna want to come up with another armor solution. And we have some now. Oh, they're tough boy Endermans. It looks like there are a whole bunch of them collecting and killing him? Okay. What are they doing? Oh, it's an endermite. That's what they're all after. They're after an endermite. That's wild. It's kind of housing them. It's actually really kind of housing them. So that's an apotheosis boss. Oh, we got a little wooden swept netherite. Like, okay. And some of these endermans are bosses. They're not even hurting that thing. Not even beginning to damage it. Look at that. That's one tough endermite. This is not what I came here to do, but I can't look away. How many health does that have? 200. I think it says on the bar that the neat mod adds, which I believe might be new to the pack since the update. Is gone. Probably just teleported. But we got some stuff out of that. We got, I don't even know what this is from. I guess we have RF tools? Common lost knowledge. Okay, yeah, we got RF tools. We also have, we've already learned that we have apotheosis. That's got plus luck. Pretty cool. But what we're here to do, now we're gonna turn the noise way down. I probably should have done that when it was, should have done this before. Okay, it's down pretty low. We're gonna, what do we got on the boots? Wow. Yeah, we can make ourselves some pretty good armor in this. Let's get some skulls. I think he's gonna just go flying through there. I never get this cage right. Like, if you watched earlier in the series, we fought withers quite a few times. Let's get out of the way. He will suffocate in there. We just can't really help him along. I'll make ourselves a little... see if we can get this self-heal to actually work. I think that must be missing the no more breathe water. Maybe conduit power is back. That would be nice. Alright, now we got a nice self-heal. And we'll let this wither sort himself out. Okay, now here's another one of these bosses. This time it's a baby Enderman's. Is it? This one certainly dislikes me enough. I also can't seem to hit it. Let's see. Yeah, it might be the boss. It's hard to say. It's not as easy to tell with Endermans because they never show any gear that they might happen to have equipped. Let's go check on our wither. Okay. There we are. Let's go home. And back home, we haven't gotten into Tetra yet. We haven't had a chance. But we can buy this insulated plate, which is something we will probably need once we get into it. Now, the next thing we're going to need to actually make the leadstone angel ring is a couple blocks of cinnabar. And you can go mine this stuff. Our ore mining Jin is getting it for us. And that was my silk touch pick. Try that again. Yeah. So while I've been fighting withers, I've been collecting these apotheosis bosses where I can. They drop bonkers good gear. Like this helmet, like 8 armor, 6.5 armor toughness. That is completely bananas. They take a while to kill. But they're worth it. Alright, we almost got him. Much to the chagrin of our armor here. Mythic boss. Where'd he go? Here he is. Holy crap. Where did he... Oh, he's way over here now. I think. Or he's down here. He's spawning other guys. It's, okay. We got a goal for that one. Titan Forged. What did we get? We got the Stalwart Shulker Shell of I. Can we put it in our shield slot? Yes, we can. Oh, that's just it in our offhand. Alright. Oh, we also got this fancy axe. Looting 5. Sundering. 50% chance to also hit up to 6 nearby and... Oh, wow. It'll work as a travel staff. It does a ton of damage. Armor piercing. I mean, that's just... That is serious. Let's see if we can put our other axes enchantments on it. Oh, well, not like that. We'll need to, we'll need a netherite ingot, won't we? Of course we will. Let's learn how to spell nether. And let's run in here. Wait, do we have 2 axes? Oh, we have this other random one. Okay, that's weird. Okay, we cannot upgrade this to the netherite tier. What about the boots? Nope. Nope, they are what they are. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, so now we could make ourselves a leadstone angel ring. This is, what, 2.5 million compared to 3 million? So it's not actually that much worse than what we have. But this one is not upgradable. Whereas this one is very much upgradable. We will need some Invar. We'll need to teach this thing how to make aluminum glass. Which, I was in the wrong GUI. That's the problem. Okay, hardened angel ring. Aluminum glass. Here we go. We'll do a recipe for that. We've got... We're going to need a bunch of Invar and some integral components. Now, stabilized RF coils, you could put them in all kinds of thermal machines. They're best in stuff that holds power, like energy cells, energetic confusers, that sort of thing. We are going to need 2 of them. So we're gonna make 2 coils. There we go. And just make sure there's no advancements that we're missing out on there. Okay. But we don't quite have our invar yet. Alright. Have our hardened angel ring. Now this just holds 2 million more power than this one. So we're already doing quite a bit better. We're going to need a bunch of electrum. We're going to need some energized glowstone for this. So we're going to need fluid encapsulator, which we already have. And we're also going to need a magma crucible. Just like old times. Let's see here. 1 magma crucible. Alright, I think we can about handle all of that. We will have to teach this thing invar gears. Now with our refined storage system, we'll be able to just pump into the system any fluids that we make with this thing, and then pass them right back in through the various, crafters and whatnot. But if you don't have that, you can set this thing right next to this thing and set it to like dump out into it and do it that way. I'll put a crafter down. There we go. Now what we're making here is an energized glowstone bucket. So it's going to take a bucket of energized glowstone and a bucket and give us this energized glowstone bucket. The glowstone is lighter than air. It floats up. This is the conceit. The bucket has to be upside down to hold it in. So we can make this with just 1 block of glowstone in a magma crucible. So we'll come on down here and okay, it doesn't like the look of that, but it should be fine. Let's find out. Our recipe looks valid. This is all moving nice and slow down here. We don't have it upgraded yet. We're going to want to upgrade this. This is so slow. We can now craft this stuff directly from the fluid grid, too. So, there's that, if that's something you want to do. Alright, so what it should do is finish this up, dump it all in here. We're going to have to set this thing to fluids, aren't we? I didn't think about that. It's all going to be fluids, so shouldn't have too much of a problem. Now we should have our bucket in here. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Very good. Now here's our reinforced angel ring. This is 8 million RF. So we'll have more than double the range that we had on our... that does not want to charge in there, does it? That's okay. We have already made ourselves an energetic infuser. Now this will charge very slowly in here. This only holds 500,000. We're going to need to augment this. Now one of the things we're going to make is a stabilized RF coil. This will increase the capacity by 6 times, right? And how are our integral components coming? They are done. Wonderful. Well, I want to show you what I mean about the augments being additive. So as is, this thing holds 0.5 mil. We throw the integral components in there. Now it'll hold 2 mil, because this is times 4. This is another times 6. Now it holds 12 million RF. But we can take it higher. Now Thermal Mods adds a few enchantments. But we can't get it that way. No, maybe this version doesn't have the enchantments. Oh well. Now the last thing I want to think about today is a digital miner, and this is quite a rabbit hole. We are going to set up to try to make this automatically, so we'll need a recipe for the thing itself, right? we're going to need a recipe for steel casings. We're going to need a recipe for teleportation cores. And for logistical sorters, we're going to need a recipe for Robit, which is going to include refined obsidian. Okay, let's start with these recipes. All right, and we're going to make an osmium compressor. Alright, now these aren't too bad. The only real different thing is the advanced control circuit. We are going to want to make a recipe for these because we're going to be using a lot of them. Let's go ahead and do that. Throw it in there. Okay, here's our osmium compressor. We got an importer. We're going to have another crafter because we're just going to want to automate this whole process. Now, this crafter, I'm going to put right here, and I'm going to flip around the opposite direction from the way we're used to having it. We're going to put the importer up there, facing down. We're going to put the osmium compressor right here. The reason to do it this way instead of having the importer down here is that the importer will pull the patterns out of this crafter, and we don't want that. And it's easy enough to turn the yellow into an input, turn these off, turn this into an output, and we'll need just a little bit of cable. There we go. And we'll basically have a whole nother row we can use on top of these machines for even more machines. Much like our infusers, refined obsidian is going to need a buffer of something else in there. We're going to throw a bunch of osmium in because that's what you use. Now, refined obsidian dust we make in another infuser block. We're going to need a diamond, and although we have a lot of diamonds, we're going to want to be at least a little bit stingy. Now, do we have an enricher out here of some kind? No, we don't. So I'm going to make another one of these. And you know, I think we're going to call it here. We're starting to run a little bit long. We'll pick up with the digital miner in the next episode. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.